Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts and to the French campaign, where you can see here we've taken central China from Germany. Now, I'm actually recording this back because, like a professional YouTubist, I had a completely muted microphone for the entire time. So after the last episode where we had that really bruising fight against the German Navy, I have ordered those damaged ships back to Le Havre, but I moved the reserve fleet from La Rochelle, led by the Bern, over to the Baltic, so that we can continue the blockade of Germany. So in the end, Germany did just plain lose that fight because they failed to break the blockade and they have failed to sink our fleet. They're still blockaded. We still have a fleet. We can replace our ships just fine. They're looking okay. It doesn't look like they're going to collapse anytime soon. So I kind of I come and and ah through the episode, but basically I'm just going to keep going against Germany until I take as much as I can possibly take off them, especially things like southern Germany, which would be a real plus. Anyway, economy for us is not looking amazing. We've got a very big fleet because of my no scrapping rule. A little bit of a self-imposed challenge. If you were in this situation in the actual campaign, I would recommend starting to scrap, mothball, and things like that. But because we're playing a never throw anything away campaign, I don't have that option. However, taking northeast China would certainly help because they have oil, and that would completely surround the Russian Chinese holdings as well, and potentially give us a chance to attack through towards Port Arthur, which would be quite nice. Then we discover oil in Venezuela on the next turn, which is pretty cool. We get a port strike against Helgoland. If you're wondering why I'm going for that one, that is because those are ships leaving Helgoland, because I think... Yeah, there we go. We take Helgoland. So we have taken that little island off the Germans. Really going to piss them off. Hopefully base some destroyers there in the future. Just raid convoys constantly. And yeah, if we can push through northern China, Congo Free State as well, some other African holdings of the Germans, just keep going, just keep pushing, just dismantle the German Empire, absorb it into the new French Empire, and trying carefully to not obliterate Germany completely. In terms of other countries, Spain and China are the only ones that are looking like they're going to come in against us, which is why I'm having a look at them just here. Spain doesn't have any capital ships. China is still pretty tiny, and we should be able to take out China, no problem. Spain is definitely going to be our next big fight that I'm going to be looking for. I am aware that Russia, longer term, is going to be an issue, and possibly Austria. But yeah, if we can really knock Germany back, might as well try. There we go. A few turns later, we take Togoland. The Chinese attack Korea. I think I checked their army logistics, and I didn't mention it in the original, but they do actually fail to take North Korea from Manchuria. They just don't have the force to do that, which is good. It means they're nice and contained. I hadn't noticed at the time, but it looks like they're allied with Greece, which is quite amusing. Yeah, Germany is rebellious again. They keep flip-flopping between who's in charge, which is not good for them. economy-wise, that will really give them some issues. But yeah, otherwise things seem to be going just fine for us. 50%, yeah. Look at that kill-loss ratio as well. Pretty much a 10-to-1 markup that we're getting at the moment, because our army logistics is really high. It's in the high 90s, I think. And Germany's down around 10%. Crew, I do notice we're getting the battlecruiser 2 and the destroyer 2 soon, which means there will be some designs towards the end of the episode, which I did live. I didn't mess up the recording of that, fortunately. I'm trying to think. I basically noticed when I went to go and turn my microphone off to start a time lapse, and then I was like, "Oh shit, it's already off." I just turned it on. Here we go. The Saint Charles finds 4 light cruisers, a destroyer, and 4 transports. We have some help from the Dutch ship, the Milan, which is a Cosmo class, I think. Shouldn't be too much of a challenge. But, yes. Very nice to see a battlecruiser actually taking on a convoy like this. Exactly what they were intended to do. So, yeah, we start off pretty close as well. You can see the secondary 155mm are already training on the target. Yeah, I'm really pleased with these battlecruisers. Actually, they're definitely going to fill a niche for us with the loss of 2 of our semi-dreadnoughts, because these things are not quite the firepower of our full dreadnoughts, but close. Those 320mm guns. Yeah, what I would really like is to get their rate of fire up. If you get semi-auto, auto-loaders and stuff like that, that would be amazing. But yeah, tech is still progressing, but it's not going like crazy at the moment. Saint Charles starts off by shooting at the transport, so I re-target her to fire her mains at the cruisers. No, all the guns at the cruisers, because the 6-inch guns should be able to help against the light cruisers. And this is me complaining about the fact that they have 51mm guns. I swear I put in 50s, but I'm going to have to watch the video back to check. Oh, dearie me. Yep. Punching away. A little bit of flooding. Little bit of flooding. It's actually the 6-inch guns that do a lot of the work, because the 6-inch guns are firing. Occasionally switch up to AP shells, and they're poking some pretty big holes. Whereas the high explosive 12-inch, well, 320mm is bouncing off all the time. But down goes the Dresden. Milan is happily taking on the transports at the moment, while Saint Charles takes out the cruisers. Basically, is my plan. It looks like the AI decided to try and take on the Milan. They're not really engaging the battlecruiser. They seem mostly focused on trying to take on the Milan. And the battlecruiser is pretty much following, actually. Picking them off at range. Come on. But see, I'll switch fire to Thetis. She's a bit closer and there's a bit of a better angle. Back to the Milan, just to make sure she's continuing to target the transports. Torpedo as well. Not that it was needed, the Arminius sinks very shortly after it. Torpedo got fired. Again, just partial pins at the moment. Just looking for that big meaty hit. So all the transport's gone. And now I retasked the Malayan to try and take out the destroyer, the V-25. There we go, there's a big hit. Half belt pen doing about 4,000 damage. And a bunch of flooding. Another huge hit. Basically going down the entire length of the ship. Takes out the Thetis. Then we move on to the Leipzig. It was very much a by-the-numbers fight, to be honest. The Saint-Charles, you can see there, has taken one hit, which didn't do anything. The Malay turns around and basically deletes the destroyer before it gets a torpedo off. Just repeated hits from the 155mm gun. And again, battlecruiser pretty much left alone. I think she actually outranges the light cruisers completely. I mean properly, not just on paper, because she can hit them at a range where they cannot really shoot back very effectively at all, if anything. Yeah, those old kind of protected cruiser style ships are just getting far too long in the tooth. It is a huge advantage of France. Their early game cruiser hulls are just so good compared to other nations. Tickling away at them with both ships now. Again, looking for a big hit. I try a little bit of AP5 just to see what will happen, and you can probably guess what will happen. They all overpen, so I go back to automatic. But the 155 AP is perfect. Going through their main belt, causing a lot of damage. And there's the Leipzig, and that just leaves one little light cruiser that is taking a hell of a beating. I think it tried to fire torpedoes there, and they instantly detonated as soon as they hit the water, which is a bit unfortunate for them. And there we go. Gone. The Malayan out-damaged the battlecruiser, but she was firing at like destroyers and transports most of the time. So, but really good showing from the Dutch. Pretty good demonstration of how dangerous battlecruisers are to convoys, especially. Very nasty. Convoy raiders able to just take out a convoy with ease. Back to the map, and now into January. The United States has gone towards Spain and, you'll see in a minute, Japan. Very interesting that things are hotting up, because at the moment it's just been us. We take the Congo Free State, which is fantastic. That means we have an east-west corridor across Africa. Well, further down, technically we already do. But yeah, cutting Africa in half, and yeah, we can push south from there, which is fantastic. And yeah, this is up to 70% that push into southern Germany. Really are potentially looking at a really significant loss for Germany. I noticed there are 2 convoy battles. We have the Victoire against the Hessen. Germans have been building more battleships, predictably enough. I'm not going to do that heavy cruiser fight, but I do decide to take on the Hessen with the Victoire, because I can't really pass up the chance to have a crack at the Hessen. And my thinking here was, you know, we might have to damage her, snipe the transports, force her into port, and then withdraw. Thinking back to the battle from the previous episode. So I target the Hessen with my mains, and I put the secondaries on the transports, hoping that the 155s can kind of pick off the transports, get a little bit of damage on the Hessen, and then, you know, look, but with an eye to withdrawing. And we start off with a very good level of accuracy. I didn't notice this immediately, but Victoire has a veteran crew, unlike the ships that were engaged in that big battle. And there we go. This is where the battle changed completely. Get two 4-belt pens with the high explosive shells, both of which cause flooding, and the force of the explosion knocks out one of the boiler rooms on the Hessen. And the Hessen and the others like her, the Kurfürst Wilhelm, whatever class, they have real problems with flooding control. They only have anti-flood 1. They don't have any upgrades to their bulkheads either. So that really hurt them. Yeah, the 155's doing horrible things to the transport. I'm swinging around to try and get around the Hessen, use superior speed so I can cut towards the transports, keep them in range, without getting closer to the battleships. I've seen how dangerous they can be. And then we get another flooding hit, this time at our aft belt pen. So there's now flooding forward and aft on the Hessen. You can just see that blue bar goes right down to the bottom. That's basically 3 hits, and they're sunk. And I could not believe it. I actually could not believe my eyes. The amount of trouble we had dealing with those ships in a full-on battle. And the battlecruiser Victoire just rocks up and goes, yeah, but just put a couple of holes in the front, put a hole in the back, and it'll sink. What's your problem? Skillish. To the battleships. I could not believe it. Absolutely gobsmacked. And yeah, past me, the person actually kind of doing this live, will be with you in just a second. Or not. It's actually I thought I noticed in this battle, but I didn't even notice in this battle. That is so bad. I didn't notice at the time though, but the Wuppertal has a pretty modern looking gun, I think. Germans have access to some Mark IV guns there. Anyway, it's just brutally murdering transports. I think the transports do more damage than the battleship did. Yeah, they do. There we go. And off to the post-battle results screen, and I'm still blissfully unaware that my microphone is off. Oh, yes, professional outfit here. Back on the map. This is the battle where I get the microphone back. The Saint Charles spots the Dessau, the Atlantis, the Königsberg, the V-32 and 3 transports. And given the battle we just had, I was pretty confident that I'd be able to take out this convoy, no problem. So we start off pretty close. think I just let the ship do what it wanted in terms of targeting. It's currently firing the secondary 155s at the transports and firing the main guns at the cruiser. Get a pretty big hit straight away, punching through the main deck. Didn't cause any flooding, but it caused quite a lot of damage. Switching up to HE, and a bunch of partials, but there is a flooding damage hit as well from an overpen. And then we're at 100% chance to hit, and then just wipe out that cruiser. Sorry, that was the destroyer. I thought it was a cruiser, but it's not. It's a destroyer. But yeah, just totally wiped. Yeah, that's me checking to see what it actually was. Yeah, it was a destroyer. I think, yeah, that's going in at a transport. And then I noticed that the ship is firing at the wrong target. Retarget onto the approaching heavy cruiser, but keep the secondaries going at the transport. The cruiser is coming end on towards us, so we've got this raking fire against them, which can just result in a bunch of ricochets, or, like that, you get some pretty sizable damage as the shell goes right down the length of the ship. Dessau with a lot of flooding problems. She turns to drop out of the line and then just gets smacked right through her main belt and sunk instantly, which again is just wow. 2 big hits, one to the main tower, one to the main belt. Pretty much cripples the second cruiser right off the bat as we swing around to finish them off. There you go. Shot right into the engine rooms. Load of flooding. And yeah, down goes the Atlantis. Just leaves the light cruiser. Which I think is still heading towards me, trying to get its torpedoes in range, I think. Shells don't go through because we fire an HE. The 155s fire an AP shell, but that does cause a fair bit of flooding. And then we get a big hit. Raking fire with a high explosive shell, and that sinks Königsberg. And this is where past me will be taking over in a moment, after I wax lyrical about the Saint-Charles and the Alsace class in general for a bit. Yes, really, really pleased with how well this class is doing. Have I not been recording commentary? That could be a slight issue. I'm going to have to check the videos. Oh, please tell me I don't have to do it in post. Well, actually, if I did have to do it in post, you'll already know about it, because I'll already have to have re-recorded it all. Yay. I don't even know how long that was that I did that. Oh, well. Oh, I took a hit from a transport? Shocking. Yeah, transports do more damage. Hilarious. Got him. Right. Sunk. Lovely. Back to the map. Alright, we have taken northeast China. Fantastic. How's this going? Oh, I really want to push that one. Kind of also want to take Cameroon as well. However, with northeast China, that is a big pickup. It has made our army logi drop very slightly, just because there's a lot of people here. But yeah, that has oil, and in the event we ever go to war with the Russians, you know, we have eastern China surrounded, which is pretty handy. And the Weiwei Peninsula, when we inevitably go to war with China again, to eliminate them. Yes, that's very nice. And then the Germans just have this little pocket that remains of their Pacific holdings, which means, again, they have transports going all the way along here, getting sunk, which is not good for them. They're still blockaded. Their economy is holding on, but it has taken a real bruising. None of the economies are doing particularly great at the moment. Is everyone at war with everybody? No, Britain's not at war. Yeah, they're the only ones showing big growth. Everyone else struggling a bit. Well, actually, the Soviet Union, that's very low. Positive. Oh, they're about to enter a bunch of wars. Interesting. I think we need to wrap things up sooner rather than later now. But we can get into a new design, which is excellent. So we can design a battlecruiser 2, which is basically an enlarged version of the... Where have they gone? Alsace. There we go. So these could... Jeanne d'Arc. Yeah, let's go for 26,000. Don't need to be crazy with these. 28 knots. Is that the same as the Alsace? Yeah. Let's go standard everything for now. Yeah, go for this tower. And this one, but I'm going to shuffle... Actually, can I go for a slightly smaller rear tower? It doesn't make a huge difference. If I shuffle things forwards, what I'm thinking is I can get a barbette on here. A barbette, a turret. Because I think, although we have access to larger weapons, the 320mm, got triples now, by the way. The 320mm is a really successful weapon for us on the battlecruisers. Like, I'm pretty pleased with them. Thinking just more of them. Yeah, one here and one here. So an 8 gunner instead of a 6 gunner. Which means she'll have the same firepower as one of our dreadnoughts, but can go a lot faster. That's the plan. Nice. Okay, 50 cal. Now, secondaries. The 155 has been extremely successful so far. So, I don't see any reason not to include a pair of them. Just like we have on the Alsace class. And, yeah. Some 80mm. Lovely. Right. Well, that's a pretty good base, I would say. The new geared turbines. Anti-top 3. Pretty nice addition. %. I'm liking this. Okay, we're going to need quite a bit more armour than what the game gives us by default. Yeah. Let's go 380 on the main belt. 100 on the extended belt. Oh, 150 on the main deck. I don't need 100 mil fore and aft, but it will mean that it can bounce most things. And then let's go. Something like that. 50, 4% overweight. I mean, I am being excessive with this fore and aft deck. Trim that to 75. That's a bit more reasonable. Drop the range touch. That puts me very close. Close enough that I can just make the ship heavier. It makes it bigger, but that's not a huge issue. Maybe I can just redistribute all of this. And then actually have 300 tons left. Gonna put it back on the 100 mil. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it's bloated a little from the original design, but the Jean d'Arc, or Joan of Arc, yes, that's basically just a fast dreadnought. That's even arguably even scarier than the Alsace, but yeah, that's going to be nasty. Right, I'm going to get building these. Right, I decided to build 3 because it's really all we can afford right now. However, we can also get some more destroyers on the go, although we can't make them that big, which is interesting. Oh well. Destroyer 2s. 34 knots. Tower. I know it wants me to put it up there, but no. I think we can use the 105 mil. Another reason for putting the tower down there, because the 105s, I've actually been seriously impressed with them when they've shown up. Plus, I think they look really funny. Ooh, ultra enhanced funnel. Boom. Right, oil. Gear turbines induce? No. Just go for 2 funnels then. Wow, these are looking funky. They need a torpedo launcher, in theory. Yeah, let's pop. So they're basically only going to have 2 4-inch guns, which is not amazing, but I think they'll still be able to do a decent job. They look hilariously modern. Oh, someone at the door. Right, distraction over. Or at least hopefully over. Right, where was I? Ah, yes. Auxiliary engine. Do 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 do. Do do. There we are. 91% with maximum bulkheads already. I mean, it is a little bit undergunned compared to what I would normally try and squeeze on a destroyer like this. I mean, the other type of destroyer, the Aspirant Urbers, have 4 80mm guns, and these things only have 2 105s. But that does mean we can put armor on, which would be amusing. Okay, when we say armor, it's not going to be a lot. But there is some. There's a little bit, it's just a little bit of armor. Let's lengthen the guns to 40 and have them as max range. They'll do great as a little picket ship. You know, 205mm is not crazy, but it works. Hopefully. Anyway, I'm going to save this, and I'm going to get a bunch of them under construction. Alright, I've had to cut back on training and crew, but we do need ships built. So, we have a whole bunch of the new Over class. And then the Jeanne d'Arc, the Triomphant, and the Couronne. And I'll let the AI distribute all of those ships. And I'll see you again soon for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Thanks very much for watching. Bye for now.